On to get you some market opinion and the art of mid-cap investing and how to pick those quality mid-caps which can be big winners. This is a part of our ongoing special series, Asian Tigers, where Udhayan Mukherjee caught up with Ayaz Motiwala, the senior fund manager at Nivalis Partners, and he began by asking about a whole different sectors, starting with auto ancillary space. Listen in.
We currently own 2 stocks here, and yeah, so there is still squirm room. I'd use. It isn't an sort of an open field where you can just go and shoot a goal, but there is still room to participate. And I think the point to amplify here would be again saying we like to look beyond a little obvious cheapness. Which essentially is saying look beyond time on near-term numbers. So I have this thought on saying that like everyone would want to buy a Marico at 15 times, and so if you push it to someone even at 20 times they would like to buy, and say hey, this is at 40 times, which everyone can see essentially. So how are we going to play this game, participate in it, and make appropriate money for clients? So similarly on auto part companies, I think that is the challenge. We have a weaker domestic growth scenario backdrop. We're coming out of it, whether it's trucks, cars, or two-wheelers, and these companies are dependent on as suppliers to the auto OE companies, and in the end, the consumer sort of confidence in buying bikes or whatever. So we'll have to go very, very sort of stock specific and search out these names.
So your bets are domestic plays or global plays?
Very, very domestic plays, largely or only sort of domestic plays that I can think on these names. So, okay. So one of the names we own, it is like a indirect trade that we've done. We also had a discount there, so it makes it more special situation like, which is a company called Phoenix Lamps. Okay. So we bought this quite some time back, and the idea was that we like Suprajit Engineering of Bangalore. Sure. And Suprajit has acquired this company. This stock traded essentially as a tracker, 10% discount. So it met some of that the pain which you had on paying up an aggressive 18-20 times for Suprajit by basically buying this at 10, 12, 15% cheaper. Okay. So we are talking about basically this stock being in the 110, 120 handle, and Suprajit being 140, 150. And so you were getting in this at arguably 135 for a 150 Suprajit, let's say. Now from there, Suprajit has done very interesting things over the last 18 months of our ownership, or nearly 2 years of our ownership, where Suprajit is moved as a stock to sort of 200, 220 odd. And we've got that additional comfort of valuation discount to what we paid up for Suprajit. Now, as you know, Suprajit is largely a domestic play. Their cables business, and they've built on that, and they've bought this finished product kind of company they want to buy, which is a lamp, which goes into both 2- and 4-wheelers, and that is their sort of plank off into the international markets, which they get a bit of that. And then they recently, about 3 months back, have done another international acquisition in the US, which is a very interesting thing, which is they've just used their cash well. The cash was earning 4% post-tax returns, and the acquisition, I think, earns them easily 10-12%, almost kind of dollar returns. So if you see that going to what our sort of investment philosophy is on good quality businesses and people who allocate capital well, sure. It seems Mr. Ajit Rai checks those boxes very well, and so we own that name.
And the other stock that you own in?
And the other one we've recently bought into is Minda Corp. Again, on the same lines, if you see their 5-7 year numbers, they've done decent sort of growth. Their presence is both across 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers. They're trying to add more related adjacent sort of product categories to grow their business. They have an international presence as well, and it makes it again an interesting play, planking off of the growth of the local market, and then hoping that these guys can actually successfully roll out a similar thing that they're doing in emerging Asian countries, such as large countries such as Thailand, Indonesia, etc.